Hey, welcome back to Club to Contracts. I'm your host, Victoria. This episode is for anyone who thought that life would be easier with baby number 2 or career launch. Spoiler alert, it's not. Hey, I'm Victoria, your host for Club to Contracts, where we talk about motherhood, getting out of the nightlife, being a boss, and building a career with badass women all around you. This podcast is brought to you by QNA Network. The number one myth that I thought was that I would just ace the test in the first try. I was such a good student. I was straight A's, B's coming into high school. But besides that, I had a great education and I was a very good test taker. But I studied so hard for the real estate test and I just kept failing. Oh my God, it was driving me nuts. The test is a little different. It's like, okay, I don't know if other professions do this, but for the licensing for real estate, you have to pass a 90-hour salesperson course and then you take a huge test after that. I think it's like a 3-hour test. And then you apply to take the actual state test. Well, the state test kicked my ass. I don't think I was really prepared for it. I don't know if my schooling didn't prepare me for it. I don't know. But I passed it on the 4th try. And it's just a little different. So if you're thinking about taking the real estate test, especially in Louisiana, this is how it is. It's a 3-hour test. You have cameras on you. You can't have loose clothing. Definitely eat a really good breakfast before because that test, it takes it out of you. Anyway, so the test, every question has one wrong answer. Like, you know for a fact that that's wrong. Like, yeah. But then there's 3 that could be right. And it's literally in the wording. So the myth that I believed was that it was easy because I also heard from other agents. I don't know how other agents passed it on the first time. I mean, maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But it was a struggle for me. And I really battled with that because a lot of agents that I talked to, they either say they made it on the first time or now that I talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, no. It took me forever to pass, but they don't want to say that. I don't know. I think being a bad test taker for that doesn't make me a bad agent, and my numbers show that. So definitely don't beat yourself up over that. It's a hard test, and it's meant to be a hard test. I think it should be harder, quite honestly, with some of the agents I've dealt with, but I digress. Now, myth number 2 that I had going into real estate, I truly was like, I can be my own boss. I can make my own schedule. Everything's going to be on my time. That's a lie. You're on your client's time, especially at the beginning. Like, there are so many instances where whenever I was starting out, I didn't have a sale yet, that my wife would be like, what are you doing? It's 11 p.m. Why are you going to get your laptop right now and put it back in bed with us? And I was like, oh, I have this rental client or I have this potential buyer client. I ended up not selling a house until I sold our house, which is 6 months after I got my license. So I really would, but I was trying. It's late night calls. It's late showings. It's weekends gone. Don't plan things with your family on the weekends. That's fine. It's okay. Dinners. I had my phone, up. I had to, or I thought I had to. But at the beginning, I mean, truly, you do want to be more in it because you're making a name for yourself. You don't have references, reviews. You don't have people that can vouch for you. You don't have referrals. So you really want, at the beginning, you're on your client's time. Now I've gotten a lot better with setting my schedule. I don't, miss games. I don't really miss pickup unless absolutely necessary. Like, of course, I will honor deadlines, but, the popcorn clients, as we call them, I'm a lot more stern with them and there's better boundaries. So yeah, another myth that I truly believed was that your family and friends will be your biggest supporters. Now, don't get me wrong, I have amazing family and friends, but the people that have truly come out to support me have surprised me tremendously. They're people that I never would have thought. Like, I might know them, like acquaintances, and they are just like in my corner, number one, letting me know all the time how proud they are of me, which my family and friends do too. But it's crazy, just the people that come out and really are rooting for you. And then on the flip side, you have some friends that are not supportive. My whole family supports me and they better. But the friends aspect, I mean, people don't really want to see you win. So whenever I do notice that whenever I'm doing really, really good, the acquaintances kind of go like crickets. But it's fine because those people that are truly in my corner and are people that I never expected, they are just rooting for me so loud that I can't hear the friends that are not clapping. Okay, another myth that I truly believe that once I get licensed, everything would just start rolling, that the deals would roll in, that the people would be calling me, that everybody would trust me to be their real estate agent. And that is so far from the truth. My first deal was me and my wife's home, and I was the realtor on it, and we weren't married. So I got that little commission check and I bought our couch. Literally, that was my first deal. And that was in March of 2022. I got licensed in July of 2021. So as you can see, that was quite a bit of time. I mean, yes, I was working with people in between that, but it was dead ends, or people weren't really serious, or XYZ, lots of rentals. I guess the rentals were my first deal, but my first real house deal was my own home. Then after that, I kind of started rolling. I think people had to see that I could do it, even though I was absolutely fucking terrified. The poor listing agent for our home, like, I did not know what I was doing, but I was very upfront with him about that fact. I let him know. So he, bless his soul, was so kind and really just like helped me through and like call me and be like, "Hey, that's not gonna work." And I was like, okay, I was just saying, it was a weird experience, but I'm really grateful that I was able to do that. A lot of agents will actually become agents after they have a real estate agent for their first home. So it was cool to be the agent on that side. I think we asked for like 10,000 from inspections after already getting such a hard like price drop for our house. And the agent was like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you talking about?" And I felt like he definitely was not happy with that fact, but we ended up settling on what they wanted. I definitely wasn't as good of a negotiator back then. I was so scared. I was like, "Okay, whatever you say." But yeah, I didn't know how to run comps at all. So I did not run comps, and I literally asked for, I think the house, I don't want to say how much my house cost, but I think I got like 15,000 off initially, and we only got that in a 2021 market. It was listed November 2021, and we offered in January of 2022. And I'm shocked that it even sat that long, because personally I love my house, but we asked for an astronomical price off, and he was like, "Do you have any support for this?" Hell no. I didn't know how to run a comp. They don't teach you that. So I just was like, this is what we want to pay. And thank God the house had sat unusually long for a 2021 market, and they accepted. And then I think he got a little sick of me after inspections because I asked for like $10,000 off the price. And he was like, "Okay, well, send me the inspection report. The house has to be about to explode." I didn't even know that I had to send the inspection report with that. So, yeah, he definitely doesn't want to do a deal with me again, and that's okay. Okay, so if you don't know what a comp is, it's a comparative market analysis, and it's basically what agents use whether they're listing a property or, about to offer in a property for their buyers, just to see what the other homes like in the neighborhood around the area have sold for. And yeah, I had never done them at that point. I mean, I had some buyer clients, but I didn't even know you needed to run these. So truly, I was a deer in headlights, my first deal. And yeah, but that's what a comp is. And I definitely did not run them. Now I've ran them, and we got a sick deal for our house. Okay, now for the children. The number one myth that I believed was, I've already done this, so the second child will be easier. But fun fact, I've already done this almost 10 years ago. I'm definitely a lot older, but I will say that my partner, my wife, she has made it so much easier. It's like night and day from whenever I had my first baby. She came into his life at 2 years old. So she didn't get to I didn't have her for the whole baby side of everything, but she's fucking heaven sent and has been just the most incredible mother. And it's been so amazing to actually raise a newborn with her by my side. Like, that has made it easier. My body is definitely not feeling like this is easier. It's been a hard time, getting my body back, bouncing back, getting back into the swing of things with real estate. I guess I didn't have my son at a time where I had a career. So now having two, and one's a newborn, it's definitely been an adjustment. But I think at the newborn stage, it's been pretty easy to take him to showings because he's very quiet. Now we're starting to creep into the wake windows. So that's going to be a whole other challenge to juggle. The reality is, balance is a myth. Some days, just the fact that we survived and we're good and we're healthy, fed, bathed, all that is the win. I'll never forget my first true day back to work. I was so excited. I finally fit back into my dress and like my favorite work dress. And I had pictures for an upcoming listing. This was the first time I was seeing the home. It was in Baton Rouge, which is like 45 minutes away. And I had to drop both of my sons off at my dad's house in Baton Rouge, and then I had to drive there, but I had to pump in between. Oh my God. It was so crazy because I had not had one that balance of pumping in an outfit that's not a t-shirt, a tank top, nursing bra. It was so, I actually ended up being at that house for so long at that appointment. We did, pictures, video. That was whenever we did all the paperwork. We stopped, we chatted, like we're human. So I wasn't in and out. Like the sellers were there the entire time. And I ended up leaking through my dress. So that was fun. I'm done pumping now, thank God. But it was definitely an adjustment to have to balance the pumping schedule with work. And that's why I'm so grateful that I got to do that. But I'm even more grateful that I'm done. I didn't know how much of an adjustment it would be going from my 8-year-old to a newborn. Like, obviously, the age is a factor, but I didn't know how like a newborn requires a lot of attention, and my sweet angel baby, it's only been like really us three, my wife, him, and me, for so long, so many years. So that was definitely different to he's been fantastic about it, but you can tell he like misses those days. So what we've made really important, my wife and I, is we'll take separate days to like go bring him places. And like her mother flew in, my mother-in-law, and they went and brought him to like the movies and just stuff just for him so he can kind of feel normal. Like he loves his little brother. That's not it. But I want him to know that we still want that individual time with him. And then whenever his brother's old enough, obviously we'll do the same thing. And then also have family days. We're very big on family days, but I want my son to just know that he is still just as important in our eyes. Right now, we have to dedicate so much time to this sweet little baby, but he's still they're both our number one, but he's still number one in our eyes too. Another myth, I truly thought I would bounce back just as quick as I did with my first baby, which, like I've said, that was almost 10 years ago. So my body is definitely a lot older bones. And also I'm busier this time. Like I'm so busy. I can't really focus on bouncing back. So emotionally, it's kind of been a lot harder with this baby because the whole aspect of losing my mother, and then also the aspect of working. So I can't really like constantly just like be there with him. And then my body, I'm not really too worried about the body part aspect of it. As crazy as it sounds, I thought I would be. I mean, whenever you're 9 months pregnant, you really just can't wait. I mean, for the most part, I fit in all my clothes again. So that's fun. But I'm not too worried about like being that like hot mama like I was whenever I was 20 having a baby. So I have been trying to really focus more so on bouncing back emotionally and mentally because it takes a lot out of you. Postpartum, the baby blues, and then also having to like be in a career and your wife going back to work. That part fucking sucked. And then the whole emotional aspect of every mom of two will tell you this because I was so nervous for it, but the whole emotional aspect of going from one to two, like, especially I had my son for so long without another baby. I was so nervous that I wouldn't have adequate time for him, that I couldn't split my love, but I definitely did. I have the two best boys in the world. And so that has definitely helped me mentally once the postpartum, baby blues wore off. Want to hear the biggest lie that I believed about real estate? I believed that one, instantly you'd make a ton of money, but two, you would make a ton of money. Like I truly thought that you would, without work. I truly thought that you would just like make money in your sleep, which might be true for some agents that, have massive teams, whatever. But I thought I would just have the money, dollar signs rolling in all the time. And that was a myth. I mean, of course, you make good money, but you work your ass off for it. Like no deal has been easy. I just have to say that. No deal has required like no or even limited work. You have to work your ass off. You have to wear so many hats. And that's why we have wine. I think a lot of agents get their license with that concept that it's fast cash, easy cash, no, not even close. And that's probably the biggest myth about real estate that I had to learn the hard way. It's not easy cash. It's not fast cash. You have to work and you have to be good at your work. And because if not, then, you might have a boom of clients, but then they just start trickling out and people start hearing that you're not, doing what you need to do. And then the referrals stop coming in and the reviews stop coming in at all because people probably aren't going to leave a really bad review unless you really fucked up. But they just won't leave a review at all. And reviews, at least in my business, they're very important. Not even just for content to show everybody, look at me, I got a 5-star review and here's what they said, but it's really important for other people whenever they look up your name to see that. And if they see limited reviews, but you've been in the business for, 5+ years or whatever, they're not going to trust you. Referrals and reviews mean the most in this business. And if you're not doing the work to get your clients what they want and you're just kind of like lazy and you're just ready to cash that check, like I see real estate, I'm more excited about the families that I meet and the people I get to meet and help. And it's just so rewarding that it's not just about a paycheck. And I think that's why I have the client base that I do. It's not quick cash and it shouldn't even be, every career is about cash, but that shouldn't be like the driving factor in every single deal. You shouldn't be like, okay, shut up and take this because, I want my check. That's not how you're going to build lasting relationships. And that's not how you're going to stay in business. Unfortunately, I never want to be salesy. I hate salesy people. Like salesy people piss me off. So why would I want to be that for my clients? No, I just bought a car the other day and it drove me insane. And I never want to be like that car salesman persona to anybody that I meet in my business because they just drain the life out of you and piss you off. I don't want to do that. I want to leave people better than I found them. And that's why it's not about quick cash for me. It's truly about the connection. And if you want any sales job, if you take any advice from me, let that be that. If you related to any of these myths, or you have questions, or you have a funny story, I'd love to hear from you in my DM. They're always open. Please make sure to rate, review, share this episode. Let me reach more mamas or career women or just girls. And let's get this bread together, mama. The easiest way to keep up with all these episodes that are going to be coming out is subscribing on any major platform where you hear podcasts. But also I have a Facebook at Club to Contracts and the Instagram is at Club to Contracts Pod.